Okay guys, this is Jim's Tips and Tricks again, and I'm about to unpack the dual cylinder little Thumper compressor I got the other day, and I've only used it once so far and I'm that impressed with it that I thought I'd do a little bit of a talk on it. Now when you get it, you get the hose, the compressor, and as you notice the compressor is a bit larger than the other compressors you get, a lot quicker. You get the normal fittings with it, and just out of curiosity, the little blower thing for blowing up balls is good for cleaning your phone and stuff when you drop it in the mud when you're out in the field with the compressor running. Okay, there's the compressor, as you can see, fold down handle on it, got you can switch on it, turn it on and off, etc, etc, the hose, etc, and the fittings. Now what I'll do is I'll show you in the reality setting it up. They've got these spring clips on them, they've got the air hose fitting on the end, plenty of hose to reach the other end of your car when you're trying to put your car together and pump tyres up. Now one of the reasons that I bought this compressor, that's the gauge they're giving you with you, and I love a screw-on valve. A screw-on valve is bloody wonderful. It means I don't have to get on my damn hands and knees to hold the air hose on for 5 minutes while it's pumping the tyre up. The gauge is here, of course, everything else, nice heavy jumper leads the thing. When I finally set it up, I'll replace one of my twin compressors inside the back of the truck, which you've probably seen in a previous video, and I'll replace one of those compressors with this compressor. And when I go in the outback, I don't like relying on one thing. I like to have a couple of things, so if one packs up, I've still got the other one working. So we'll go from there and I'll show you the next stage. I carry with me when I'm in the outback. And I thought I'd do a graphic demonstration. As you notice, I've got a clock down here, and I can't see the clock, you can. And this tyre is pumped up to normal running pressure. I've got the little valve tool here. Now you won't see the hole letting the tyre down, but what I'll do, just to give you the graphic demonstration, that'll be right. Now I've got to go and find the valve, don't I? Okay guys, here's a tip for you. I always have a packet of spare valves with me, but I must have used them and I haven't replaced them, so before I go out the next time I've got to replace the spare valves. As you saw when I took the top off the tyre, it slipped out of my fingers, and I can't find the little valve tool, the little brass tool, you know, these valve caps are the little brass tools, lots of it. I can't find that or the valve. It's on the ground here somewhere. It'll turn up when I stop looking. But anyway, I've got another valve, I've got another tool. I'll put the valve tool and put the valve in the tyre. As you're aware, this tyre is totally flat. Okay, that's the valve in. We'll try not to lose this cap, we've lost enough lately. Okay, with these screw-on ones, which I prefer, they are much better. And if you're running Hilux rims, what you do when you get your tyres changed, make sure they put long stem valves in. They won't like to put them in, but put them in, because I tell you now, it makes it a lot easier to pump tyres up and put them up and down. Otherwise you're flipping around like a 2-bob watch trying to get it all together. Okay guys, take a note of the time on the clock, and as you notice there's no air at all in the tyre, it's totally flat. And here we go, we'll turn the compressor on. Well, there you are, guys, it's already up to 40 pound. Okay guys, that now is up to 55 pound. Do you believe that? That's the time this compressor takes to pump it up. I'll show you on the link. I'll put a link up to where I got the compressor from, and they've got none in stock at the moment I'm making this. I just checked before I came outside. But I tell you what, I wouldn't waste my money on any of the other compressors now. This is a bloody great compressor. It shovels a fairly large amount of air in. And one of the things that's always annoyed me is that when you're out in the desert, it doesn't really matter. You just let your tyres down, away you go. You don't have to worry about them again, apart from checking them on a regular basis. But when you're up in the mountains up here, it's not always good to run with a low pressure tyre over rocks and so forth, and it's not really good running with hard tyres on the mud. And you come out onto main roads every so often and go back in again, and it gets to the point where you've seriously a bit naughty and you get a bit lazy and you don't pump your tyres up because it takes too long, and then you start driving on the road with soft tyres, which is not the cleverest thing you can do. So with a decent compressor, it's quite easy. I can remember the old days we used to come out and drive all the way down to the nearest garage and pump our tyres up, but the rotten mongrels don't put hoses out anymore, so you can't do that trick anymore, so you've got to take your own with you. So I recommend this compressor. I reckon it's a good compressor, and as you can see with the clock running in front, although there was a bit of a time gap when I lost the valve. And it's the Thumper, and this is the twin cylinder Thumper, and I would highly recommend this compressor. And not only is it a great compressor, it doesn't get particularly hot when you're using it. It's not like some of the other ones I've had. They get red hot and you put your hand on top of the cylinders, you get burnt because of the heat that build-ups in them. This thing dissipates the heat quite well, and I'm quite impressed with it.
Just a quick note for everybody, I have not been paid for this. I've done this off my own back.